Hello everyone. Um, I'm your UI UX design mentor, and I'm going to introduce myself so that you get to know me and then get to know me. So, hello, I'm Helen Chimike, also known as Design Cook. I'm a UI UX designer, I'm a UI UX design mentor, and I'm also an aspiring product and a project manager. You can find me on any social media platform, Helen Chimike. So, once you search me with my government name, then you get to find me on any social media platform. Becoming a UI UX designer. So today we are going to talk about becoming a UI UX designer. What does UI UX stands for? What are their principles? And also today we're going to talking of becoming a UI UX designer. Introduction to design. Now let's get to know the introduction to design. The term UI/UX stands for user interface, user experience design, and refers to the practice of designing digital products with a user-first approach. So UI stands for in user interface and UX stands for user experience. So the S was gotten from experience because the E is silent. So it both stands for UI and UX. Now, in other words, the point of UI and UX design is to create a product that will be both visually appealing and highly pleasant to interact with. So the goal or the point why UI UX is being there is to create a product that will be both visually appealing and highly pleasant to interact with. A common misconception is that UI and US come down to the same thing and they are just one discipline, but that is not entirely true. They are separate disciplines that focus on different aspects on a user journey with a digital product. So yes, there's a common thing that say, oh, UI and US is the same thing. They are the same discipline. Yes, they are the same thing, but there are some discipline that makes them different. Okay, there are some disciplines that make them different. So in today's class, you will actually understand the difference between a UI and UX, and then you're going to understand those disciplines. Get? So however, they overlap in many ways and are so closely connected that they are largely merged into one profession. Let's take a look at the main difference between UX and UI before moving on discussion what is UI UX design principle and why it matters to you as a designer. Okay? So remember in the real pronunciation of calling the UI US, US comes before UI. Okay, US comes before UI. Things that needs to be done, US comes before UI. Now, user experience design, UX. Now, user experience UX design is the process design terms used to create products that provide meaningful and relevant experience to users. Okay, it is a process people use, it is a process teams use to create products that provide meaningful and relevant experience to users. UX design involves the design of the entire project of acquaintancing and integrating the product, including aspects of branding design, usabilities and function. Okay, now this actually means that UX deals with the entire process of giving your user nice and enjoyable experience. So what does it mean? It means when one is interacting with a product, so those experience you are passing through. So those experience, for example, you want to create an account. From creating an account, let's say you download the app. Next thing you open the app, click on register or sign up or get started as a button. You add your maybe your full name, you verify your phone number, the OTP was sent to you, you create a password. So those things that you're experiencing, those interactive those interaction, you're navigating from one screen to another. So those process are known as user experience. So those process we are being created by teams to give you and I a meaningful experience. Okay, now user interface design. User interface (UI) is the process designers use to build easy to use and pleasurable interface in software focusing on looks and likes. Now what does this mean? It is the process. Now like I said, UX is the process you pass through when creating an account, when creating an account on a particular app or website or web app. Now, but for UI, it's like the look and feel. Like when you're creating an account, everything is visible enough. The color are nice, the arrangement, the input button is visible, the button text is visible enough for you to read and understand. The look, the arrangement, the feel, that is what UI design actually means. UI interface design consider the overall look and feel of a digital product experience you are creating and applies usability and interaction design principles to all product functions and interactive feature. Okay, now what the difference between user experience and user interface? Now experience is functional, it works and it navigates. I click on get started, it takes me straight to the next screen. I click after putting my first name, last name, phone number, I click on continue. It takes me to OTP screen where I have to get OTP code and then input my OTP code, send to my phone number or email. It's easy, it works. Now reliable, easy to use, everything is just easy. You click on this, it takes me straight to the next task or section to complete. You click on this button, it takes you next to the it take you to the next screen. Usable and easy to understand. You click on this button, it takes you the text are readable. You click on this, it takes you to the next screen and it's easy for you to understand the next task to complete. Clear, it's not confusing. The interaction, the experience is very clear. Whatever you're doing on the platform is very clear. Okay, so all those things are user experience. For interface, it is simple, it is clean, it is tidy. Now from beginning of my slide to this page, you will see that everything is arranged, everything is clear, it's simple, it look cool. The color gradient I use is clear enough. So on your design, so UI is all about colorful gradients. You don't have too much color contrast. You're not using for instance light lemon and white text. Like for example, you have a light lemon body and white text. If you can imagine the color, you will see how the white text will not be visible, or you can try it. White text will not be visible. So it's either you use light lemon color and black text for the text, for the text to be visible. Okay, illustration and icons. Now if the illustration I use is clear enough, visible enough, and everything is being arranged. Okay, so that is all UI and US means. That is the difference between UI and US. Remember I said US stands for user experience and UI stands for user interface. Now most people confuse UI and US because the principle do overlap. Yes, it do overlap. UI cannot exist without US. UI cannot be done with US. Yes, there are some people that will tell you, oh, I can do UI without user experience. Trust me, when you start doing prototype for that product, you find out that there are some little things that will be missing, little things that will not be arranged, and those things are key to UX. Okay, so UI user interface bring the user experience to life, performing key functions and making feature usable. Since the end user experience is a combination of both UI and US, all collaboration is important to create considered, thoughtful experiences. Generally, UX and UI design are two crucial components of creating a successful website or application. UX design focus on the user overall experience when interacting with a product, while UI deals with the visual look and feel of a product. So you've seen the difference between the UX and the UI. So the UX their main focus is just your experience when interacting with a product. They don't care how it look and feel. All they care, their main goal, their main focus is when you are interacting with a product. For example, when you are interacting with any app on your app store or Google Play Store. So when you download the app, you open the app, you register as a first time user, you, let's say for example it's a fintech app, savings and loan app, you verify your account, you get on the home page, you fund your wallet, you buy your card. So those experience that you those experience you experience while interacting with a product, that is their main focus. All those things are just UX design. It's not confusing, it's worked very well, it's easy to navigate. All those things, okay? All those things are just the experience. But for UI, it deals with the visual look, how it has been. Now let's take my slide for example. Now my slide from beginning to this page is actually the look, the feel. Everything is arranged, everything is clear enough. You can see the text. For people watching with their phone, for people watching with a larger screen, their laptop, tablet, you see that it's fitting, it's clear enough. Okay, it's visible enough. Now, understanding these tips will definitely help you a lot. In today's class, I will briefly explain some of the essential UI UX design principles every designer should consider. Interested? Well, let's dive into it properly. Now, the basic the basics of UI UX design principle. UX design principle. Now let's start with UX. Remember I said UX comes before UI. So as a designer, whenever you are doing, just have in mind that UX comes before UI, not even just the name, but the process. Okay, but the process, US process comes before UI process. So along the line, you actually understand why US comes before UI. So at the end of the class, I'm going to explain some things to let you know that US comes before UI. But for now, let's take a look at the US design principle. Now, the ultimate goal of UX design is to create a product that is pleasing and sweet to use. That is the main goal of a UX design, just to create a product that is easy and sweet to use. That is their ultimate goal. That is their number one goal. Okay? Now, this involves understanding the needs and behavior of a target audience and designing a product that meets those needs. A product should be creative and easy to use, easy to navigate, sorry, with clear and instructions. Users should be able to complete tasks quickly and effectively without feeling frustrated or confused. A product should be designed with all users in mind, including those with ability or those who use assistive technology. So a product should be clear, easy to navigate, and have the right instruction. Users should be able to complete a task. For example, now my task on creating an account, let's say for example, a fintech account savings app, my task is just for me to create an account, fund my wallet, and get a virtual card, for instance. So why carrying out these tasks, I should not feel frustrated. Everything should be clear enough. So for example, if I'm someone who have disability, I should be able to understand and read every um, content on that particular app. If I'm someone who has an assistive technology, those assistive technology should be able to help me out to carry my task. In addition, UX design should also focus on creating an engaging and enjoyable product. This means designing for emotions and creating a product that users love. By creating a product that is both easy to use and enjoyable, designers should make a loyal user base that will keep returning their development. So for example, there's an I know a lot of us has found out some upgrade in our apps. Now those things are like maybe we want a new feature, we'll see, oh, we should actually solve this problem. Oh, this particular problem needs to be solved. Then we'll have to include those features, and then the developer will implement them, and then we'll say, oh, we need to update this app. Then the app will give us some notification, you need to update this app. And when you update this app, you'll find out some little feature that has been implemented. So that is it. Now, what are the list of UX principle? So what are the lists? Now, user experience (UX) is a crucial to any product or services. It encompasses a user's interaction with a product or services from the initial delivery phase to the final purchase or usage. To ensure optimal user experience, following certain principle such as simplicity, clarity and consis ten cy is essential. Now, creating a product from the beginning to the ending, there are some principles you need to apply that will help you achieve the ultimate goal of UX. Okay, and I said the ultimate goal of a UX is to create an enjoyable product for your users. Now you need to apply these principles, okay, for you to for you need to apply these principles for the beginning to the ending for you to create a nice product. So what are the principles? So here I wrote down 9 important principles, but trust me, there are other principles. But in today's class, I'm going to show you the 9 important principles. Now, one, we have usability. Two, we have accessibility. Three, we have emotion. Four, we have clarity. Five, we have efficiency. Six, we have consis ten cy. Seven, we have simplicity. Eight, we have flexibility. And nine, we have feedback. So these are the 9 important principle that I wrote down. But trust me, there are other UX design principles. So I'm going to explain one by one for you and giving you an example on each so you actually understand the design principle that you need to apply when carrying out or when creating a product. Now the first one is usability. A product should be easy to navigate with a clear instruction. Users should be able to complete tasks quickly and efficiently without feeling frustrated or confused. Now usability, it should be clear, easy to navigate. I shouldn't get frustrated when using this app. I shouldn't get frustrated when creating a Telegram. I shouldn't get frustrated when creating an account with YouTube. I shouldn't get frustrated when creating an account on WhatsApp. I shouldn't get frustrated when trying to log in into any particular platform or app. It should be easy to navigate. So that is the important principle of US usability. It should be clear enough. Okay, it should be clear. It should be easy to use. It should be very easy for me to complete a task. I should not feel frustrated or confused. Okay, that is one importance of that is one US design principles. Okay, usability. Accessibility. A product should be designed with all users in mind, including those with disability or those who use assistive technology. This means that designers should focus this means that designers should consider factors such as color contrast, font size and keyboard accessibility. Now, if you've been following this my class from beginning to this particular stage, you will see that the font size is visible enough. The title font is visible enough for you to actually pronounce or read those words. Now, for the body text, which is actually this, is clear enough for you to read and understand, and is visible enough. Now, the color are not the color are visible enough, Now, I for my text I use white and I add a little permanent color of the logo to it. I give it a stroke of the permanent logo. It's clear enough. Even attaching those even attaching those stroke color stroke is visible enough. Okay, so designers should have all users in mind. For those with ability, they can see. For those with disability, they can also see. They can also read and understand. Okay, so you should have all users. You should not design. Don't design only for people with ability. You have for to design with people with ability so that they can read and understand. You get, for those people that don't know how to read, they can just use the icon or illustration to tell the activity on that page. Okay. Now the next one is emotions. The next one is emotions. UX design should also focus on creating a product that is engaging and enjoyable to use. This means designing for emotions and creating a product that users love. By creating a product that is both easy to use and enjoyable, designers should make a loyal user base that will keep them returning to their development. Now you're designing a product, you need to also focus that engaging you need sorry you're designing a product, you should also focusing on also focusing on creating a product that is easy and enjoyable. You should also this means that you're designing for their emotions and keeping the product for them to use. Now for example, um let me use a fintech savings app. Now I register my account, verify my phone number, and I get to the home page. So once I get to the home page, I was able to form my account or form my wallet. It was easy for me to use. I also upload the necessary documents. I was easy to get a loan. Now all those things that was very easy and very engaging. Trust me, it has this with my emotion because I actually love the interaction. I actually love how I didn't feel frustrated. I actually love how it was easy for me to navigate. I will come back to do whatever I want to do on that particular app. I will come back. Tomorrow I will, let's say I have paid the loan. I will come back to borrow again. I have found my wallet and I've gotten my virtual card. I will come back to do whatever I want to do on that particular platform. Now let's take a look at let me use myself as an example. I use GT app. When the old GT app was there, I always feel frustrated when trying to carry out a transaction. The old GT app, if you use GT app, you understand that there was a old GT app. I always feel frustrated. At the end of the day, I don't even use it anymore. I started using USDT code. I was using it because each time I log into the app, I will get frustrated of not knowing where to navigate. But when they had a new designer and new development team that came up with this new app, GT World, trust me, I can't even remember that, oh, I was even using USDT card because the app is enjoyable. I feel free. The product is good. I love it. So it has actually deals with my emotions that make me keep using the app frequently. Even if it's just 200 naira I want to transfer, I will open my app because once I open my app, first thing it captured is my face ID. I don't even need to put my password again because I have activate my biometrics, either my face ID or my fingerprint. I've already activated. So once I just open the app, it picks my face straight to the home board. I do my transaction, put the person's account number. Once I put the person's account number, it search for the particular bank. You click on the bank. Let's say you click OP, you click on OP. The next thing it will show you the confirmation screen that carries the bank name and the person's name, and then you put your amount. Once you put your amount, you click on next, it loads and it takes you to where you have to put your PIN, and then you put your PIN. Either you put your PIN by typing it or you pick your face or your fingerprint. Okay, to show that it is easy. You don't have to get frustrated. You don't have to show you this, show you that. It's just straight to the point. And trust me, even I like I said, even if it's just 500 naira I want to transfer, I keep using the app always. I enjoy using the app because it has actually deals with my emotions, because it's easy to navigate, it's easy to use. It has actually built, like it has actually stole my heart. My love for it is okay. You get, than the old app. So remember I said the old app, because I was using it, I was feeling frustrated. It takes me year and year and year and year. I actually don't understand. I stopped using it. Watch me, I didn't come back to the app again. I started using USD code. I started using USD code. When I found out that they've actually have a new app, I tested it and it was okay for me to use. And trust me, I didn't even go back using the USD code again. I started enjoying using the app. So that is what a USD should actually focus on. When you're focusing on creating a product that's engaging and loyal, it means that you're actually designing for emotions. Okay? Something that your users will actually love. Now, clarity. A product should be designed with clear and conceive language so that user can understand what they see and are supposed to do. Now, just like I said before, that the old GT app was not clear enough. I was actually not seeing some buttons are bigger, some are smaller, some text in the button were not visible enough, and sometimes I don't even know what to do next because the write up are not clear. But when I started using this, when I saw the GT new app, it was clear enough for me to use. The language, the text, the arrangement, the alignment, the pattern, everything was clear enough for me to read and I know what next to do. Not because I am a GT customer. It was clear enough. Okay, it was clear enough. So that is it. So now, if you're also following my slide from beginning to the ending, you see that all the text I use is clear enough. I'll know what next to do. Okay. Now, efficiency. A product should be designed to help user complete a task as efficient as possible without requiring unnecessary steps or action. So this is it. A product should be designed to help user complete tasks as efficiently as possible without requiring unnecessary steps or action. So your user that now let's say GT teams actually helped me to complete a task as soon as possible. Just like I explained. First thing first is download the app, add my card, let's register on the app as a new time first time user, get on the app, I can see my balance that I have. And now I want to make a transfer. I just click on transfer button. The next thing is I put the account number and search for the bank. I pick the bank. I get a confirmation screen that says the account name and the bank name of the person. And then I put my amount and then put my PIN. It's just straight. So I was able to just complete the honest system. They were not playing video for me. They were not playing adverts for me. It was just clear. The task was just easy for us to complete. Okay. Next we have is consistency. A design should have a consistent design language throughout with recognizable and easy to use elements. So there should be consistency. There should be consistency in the design. The user design experience there should be consistency on it. Everything should be consistent. If you're using this particular if you're using this particular user experience, we are using this particular notification container. For example, notification where we have notification, if your notification are coming from the bottom of your screen, it should remain from the bottom. If it's coming from the side, it should remain from the side. If you're doing it in model that cover half of the page, continue that way on all your notification screen. You get, that is what consistency actually means. So if I'm giving you a notification as example, if your notification is coming out as half of the page, let it cover half of the page like that. Let it be consistent like that in the end of the product. If it's coming from the top, let it be coming from the top till end of the product. If it's coming from the top right, let it remain that same way till end of the product. Okay. Now let's look at the next one. Now the next one, simplicity. A product should be able a product should be designed to be as simple as possible without extra numerous features or distraction that distract from your user. It should be as simple as. So now I should not have extra feature. Let's say while using GT app, I should not have an extra feature that say click to download video, click to upload video, click to see an advert. It should be as simple as possible. Don't add extra feature. While you adding, when I've done my I've added my amount after seeing the confirmation of the bank name and the username, while adding video for me, don't distract me when trying to complete a task. Don't add some extra feature that are not necessary. It should be as simple as possible. Okay. Now flexibility. Now flexibility. A product should accommodate various users' needs and preference, including different language, screen size, and other factors. Now, let me use YouTube for example. For those people watching videos with or in this class watching this course with their laptop or YouTube channel, and those with their phone and those with their tablets, whatever screen size you're using, you will see that YouTube actually made it easy for you and I. So I'm actually using my laptop to I'm actually sharing my screen with my laptop, and some people are viewing it with their laptop, which make the text, the content of my slide to be visible enough. And now those people using their phone, it's actually visible enough. So YouTube has made it easy for both of us. So for those viewing with their phone, they can see my slide clear. For those people using their laptop, they can also see my slide clear. Okay. Now it can accommodate various users' needs. I don't have a laptop and I'm viewing with my phone. I should be able to see the slide clear. I don't have a phone, but I have a laptop. I should be able to see the slide clear. I don't have a laptop. I don't have a phone. I have a tablet. I should be able to see the slide clear. So YouTube has accommodated you and I needs. Okay, YouTube has accommodate our needs. So I don't have a laptop. I have a phone. I should be able to see my tutor's slide very well using my phone. So that is what flexibility actually means. Okay. Now feedback. A product should provide clear and timely feedback to users so that they can know if they have completed a task successfully or if there are errors that needs to be corrected. For instance, I when creating my GT account, let's say I put the wrong email address, I should be able to get a feedback that say, oh, you've input the wrong, okay, let's say, oh sorry, wrong email, please check the email and try again. So the feedback should be clear enough to tell them that this task you're actually trying to solve or you're trying to complete is not successful. If it's successful, then give me a successful screen. If it's not successful, give me an error screen. Okay, now you've input the right email and you've input the right password. I should get a notification screen that says I should get a notification screen that says correct, successfully, well done, congratulations. So I'm just giving you content for instance. So give me a feedback, give me a clear feedback to tell me that I have completed this task successfully or wrongly. Okay, so that is what it actually means. So all these are the design UX design principles. Okay, so once you know these important 9 principles, then you are good to go to create a successfully good, sweet, enjoyable user experience for your products for users. Okay, while these principles are good starting points, just like I said, there are many other considerations to consider when designing for user experience. For example, understanding your users needs and expectation, conducting user research and testing, and interacting on design based on feedback. So along the line, you actually know why or what conducting user research and testing actually means. Enjoying this class? Let's move to the next section. Now, let's move to UI design principles. What are UI? So UI, UX, we talked about 9 principles. And now for UI, we are going to discuss what are the principles that is going to help us to achieve nice look and feel of a product. Remember I said UX deals with the user experience, interaction user, like the experience user, let's say the experience of your user, while UI deals with the look and feel of a product. Okay, don't forget the difference. So once you understand the difference, then you are good to go, and you understand the principles, then you can create a successful product. Now let's look at UI design principles. Now UI is all about creating a visual appealing and user-friendly interface. It involves designing button, menu, icon, and other interactive elements that user will interact with. A product should have a consistent design language throughout, with this with recognizable and easy to use elements. Now if you have been following my slide from beginning to this particular stage, you will see that everything is in one pattern. All my body text, these are the body text, are being aligned to the center. Visual hierarchy involves designing elements to guide the user's attention to the most important information on the page. Using techniques such as size, color, and contrast, designers can create a visual hierarchy that make it easy for users to understand the most important information on the page. Now, from beginning of my slide to this particular page, you will see that all the text are being aligned to the center. They are using the same size. All the fonts size are the same. The color are the same. Contrast are the same. Okay, so it is easy for user to understand the important information on the page. So as I'm reading it, you're also understanding the information on the page. So the next we have is UI design should be responsible, meaning it should be designed to work on various kinds of device, and it should also fit the screens. By creating with responsiveness in mind, designer can ensure that their product is accessible to all users regarding their device. Just like I said, YouTube. So as you're watching this channel, as you're watching this particular video on YouTube with your devices, YouTube has made it easy for you and I, for those people using their phone, tablet, and laptop to actually understand the class. Okay, so if you're viewing with your laptop, you're viewing with your phone, you're even viewing with television, you get, it should be visible enough regarding your devices. Now, what are the principles? What are UI principles? Now, user interface UI creates a visual appealing and user-friendly interface. Here are some of the key principles of UI design. One, we have consistency. Two, we have visual hierarchy. Three, we have feedback. Four, we have simplicity. Five, we have flexibility. Six, we have color. Seven, we have typography. And eight, we have accessibility. So you will see that some key principles are actually same thing with UX principles. We have the consistency. Remember, we have consistency in UX and we also have consistency in UI. So I'm going to explain each of them for you. Now, the first one we have is consistency. Now, in consistency, I told you consistency should be the one pattern of experience that your user are using, okay, are experiencing. Now, in this aspect, I'm going to say consistency in UI design. Remember, I said US is experience and UI is just the look and feel. Now, in consistency, it should be Now you're looking at my slide. You're looking at my slide. So my slide from the beginning where I introduce myself down to this page, if you're observant, you will see that it has one pattern. It has one pattern. The title, the title text and the color is the same pattern, aligned to the center. Every title has a green stroke line. It is white. The body text is visible and is aligned to the center also. They are in one position. So if you can see, when I was explaining the UX design principle, when I was talking about consistency, it's just the same way. It's being aligned like this. So that is what consistent means. The design element should be consistent. It should make your user feel more comfortable and familiar with that product. You get? It should be consistent enough. Now, visual hierarchy. Now, what is visual hierarchy? This involves design elements to guide users' attention to the most important information on that page. Using techniques as size, color, and contrast, designers can create a visual hierarchy that make it easy for users to understand the most important information on the page. Same thing, you're looking at it already. The size, the color, the contrast, the elements, whatever you can find on this page, you see that um, um, it is visible enough. It is visual appealing that you can read every information on the page. Okay, feedback. A product should provide clear and timely feedback to users so that they know if they have completed a task successfully or if there are errors that needs to be corrected. Feedback can take many forms such as animation, sound, or visual call. Now we talked about feedback on US principle, and now we are talking about feedback on UI. Now let me use notification for instance. Now we have, now let's say you picked in your design for feedback on the UX, you actually pick your notification to come out at the center of your screen. And now for feedback when it comes to the UI, it's actually that same notification for those center notification for your screen. I'm talking about on the mobile. Now we have this. Now your text, your if you're using an icon to say error, it should remain an icon. If you're using animation, it should remain animation. You can't use icon on screen one and the next screen you're using animation or you're using illustration or you're using images. No. So if you're using an icon, let it remain an icon for your successful or error. Okay? If you're using an animation, let it remain an animation. If you are arranging it icon, title text, and then body text. Now what actually means on your notification, um I have good, check. We have the check mark, good. The next one should be successful, and then we have the body text. If you're arranging it that pattern, it should remain that pattern. Don't arrange this part the screen one like this, and then you go to screen two, you put your title text, you put your body text, and then you put the animation under. No. If you're going to be remaining in this pattern, please follow the first pattern all through to till the end of your product. Okay, so that is what it actually means, so that as a user I can be able to understand if this task is being completed or not, and don't use a language or a text that is not visible enough. Okay, now the next one we have is simplicity. The product should be designed to as simple, it's same thing as the user experience, but that one, it is the interaction. But for UI, it should be clear enough. Now what this actually means is the button, the button text, for instance, the button text, it should be visible enough for me to tap on it. Let's say I want to, let's say, get started, log in, log out. Those things should be clear enough. It should be visible enough. You get? It should be clear enough. When I click on the button, it takes me to the next task to complete. I click on the input field, where I need to type my name, or maybe my email, or maybe my phone number, or maybe my password. It should be clear enough. You get? Now, flexibility, just I explain on, just like I explained for UX, it should be flexible, it should be clear enough. You get? Because I use a larger font for the web. I should not use, I can't use those large. For example, now, let's say this slide I have already, I created with a larger screen, and when I want to create for mobile, I can't use this same font, this large font. I can't use it. If I use it on the mobile, it will be very, very big, over big. And maybe some, let's say for example, the FL and TY might not even enter the screen. And it will make me now want to press the text together. And once I compress the text, they won't be able to reach the word. You get? So the sizes, let's say this is what I use for the web design. I should also use it. I can't use it for the mobile. So what I have to do, I should reduce this font text to fit the mobile screen. And same thing for the body text. Okay, it should be visible enough for their product to be visible, accessible to all users. Almost same thing as as the design UX design principle, but in design principle it's just about the experience. Why in UI it's about the look and the feel. Okay, so like I said in our previous example that I said, users should be able to access this video, whatever device they are using, should fit in whatever screen size they are using. Now, for example, let's talk about Jumia. If you open Jumia, go to jumia.com, and some persons open with their laptop, some persons open with their phone. You see that the same thing activity that is happening on the phone is the same activity that is happening on the laptop. It's just that it just fits the screen sizes, so that if I'm viewing with my phone, it can be flexible enough. If I'm viewing with my laptop, it can be flexible enough. If I'm viewing with my tablet, it should be flexible enough. Color. Now everybody know color. So everybody know that color is an important part in UI, as it can convey emotions and meaning. Yes, designers should choose colors carefully, consider the cultural association and color blindness. Now, if you watch this my slide, you see that all the color are not causing color blindness. It's not too shouting, it's not too dull. It just remains standard. Everybody know that black and white actually fits. Everybody know that green and black does not go together. You cannot use a grey text on a black background. It won't be clear enough. Okay? It should be visible enough. The next one we have is typography. Typography is another important aspect of UI design, and it can affect readability and accessibility. Designers should choose fonts that are easy to read and appropriate for this product and target audience. Now, my text, typography actually means text. Now, the text I've been using from the beginning of my slide to this particular stage, you will see that it is visible enough for you to read and accessible at any time using any kinds of device. Because choose your font easily. There are some fonts that you will use, I will find it difficult for me to read and understand. You get? There are some fonts you use, I can't even understand the information you're trying to pass out. Okay, so when you're choosing your font, make sure you choose fonts that are easy to read. Okay, so that is another important UI design principle. The next one we have is accessibility. Like in UX design, accessibility is one so important in UI design. Designers should also consider factors such as color, font size, and keyboard accessibility. So just like I said on UX, those people who have disability should be able to understand your product. The font size, the color contrast. It's just the same thing. But just like I said, for accessibility, it matters to the experience. But for UI, it's just the look and the feel. Now, when I'm trying to, like let's use GT. I've been using GT for example. Let's say GT accessibility. I was able to understand the font size, the information is trying to pass through. Now, let's say that confirmation screen before I put my amount. The information on that particular screen is visible enough, is accessible enough. Then for UI, the way it is being arranged, I'm using a title text which is bigger, and I'm using a body text which is smaller, and I'm using a bank logo which is visible enough for me to see. So it should be accessible. Don't use gray color on a black background. It will not be visible enough, it will not be accessible enough. I won't see it. Or you're using font size of 12, which is actually very, very small, a small tiny text. And then you're using gray color on a black background. I will find it difficult for me to assess what is that. Okay. Now, keeping these principles in mind, UI designers can create interface that are visually appealing, easy to use, and accessible to all users. Relationship between UX and UI design. What is the relationship? Why are they related together? While UX and UI are two distinct disciplines, they are closely related and overlapping. UX design focus on the user's overall experience when interacting with a product, while UI design focus or deals with the visual and interactive elements of a product. However, UX and UI design are essential to creating a great user experience. UX designers are responsible for understanding the needs and behavior of the target audience and designing a product that meets those needs. This involves creating user research and testing, creating user personas, and designing user flow and wireframe. Once the UX design has completed, a framework once a user designer has created a framework for the product, the UI design takes over and focus on designing the visual and interactive elements of the product. This involves designing button, menu, icon, and other interactive elements that user will interact with. Now, what this actually means is now the difference now is between, just like I said on the beginning of the class, the difference is UX focuses on the experience, while UI focuses on the visual looks and feel. Now, like I said, there are other process or method you can actually use in achieving a goal on a product from beginning to the end. So just like I said, there are other needs a UX designer can actually carry out. There are conducting user research, testing this product. Oh, if actually I solve this particular product, creating user personas, creating wireframe and user flow. So along the line in all our classes, you will actually understand those those process that are being used on every of a user's journey than before getting to use getting to understand the particular tool that we use. Okay, so once the UX design has created the framework of this product, the UI takes over, and then that is when you now have to use your tool, start creating button, start knowing the kind of screen, start adding your colors, start adding icons, start adding the images, start moving them either to the left, to the right, or to the center. Yes, this involves designing those buttons, those icons, those menus. So whatever elements you're designing on your UI, so that is what every information that the UX, when they have created the framework, you just pick the framework and use any of the two to actually try creating those framework, start implementing them in form of visual appealing, which is the the mobile. Let's say for example you're designing for a mobile, you start designing for a mobile. Okay. The role with the roles of UX and UI design may differs, their goal are the same thing, yes, to create a product that is easy and enjoyable. By working together and by communicating effectively, UI and UX design can create products that are visually appealing, easy to use and accessible to all users. In addition, UX and UI design should be an interactive process. This means that all designers should consis ten tly be testing and their product based on users feedback to create a product that meet the target audience. Now as a US designer or UI designer, as you've done this first stage, let's say you've carried out your research you're trying to create a savings app, you've carried out all your research. What is this app doing that they need to do better? What is this app lacking? You get? Now when you're carrying out all those research, as you understand the problem, you've know their goals and you're trying to solve this problem for them, you get, and you've created an idea for that problem. You should be able to give room for users to test if this idea you create is good idea. Okay. You should be giving room for them to be testing. Okay, this idea I've created, is it okay for my users? You get, don't just design for yourself, design for your user. Is it okay? Is it enjoyable? Is it good? So that is what it actually means. By working together as a UI UX designer, staying focused on users' needs, UI UX designer can create products that users love to use. A UX designer can be a separate person. A UI can be a separate person. Just like when I introduce myself, I am a UI. I know UI and I know UX and I can work on both roles. That is why I have both of them together. Some people can actually learn only UX and forget UI. Some people can actually forget UX and learn UI. But you as a UI designer, you can't work alone. You have to work with a designer. UX designer, you when you're done making your research, creating idea, you will not just want to end it there. You want to put it out there. So what you have to do is to work together with a UI designer. Okay, you can choose to be both, you can choose to be separate, but you have to work as partners. Okay. Now in conclusion, UX and UI design principles. UI and UX design principles are crucial to creating a successful website or application. By understanding the needs and behavior of the target audience and designing products that are easy to use and visually appealing, designers can create products that users will love. Remember to keep in mind the principles of usability, accessibility, consistency, visual hierarchy and responsiveness, and you will be on your way to creating a great user experience. By approaching UX and UI design as two related disciplines, designers can create visual stunning and easy to use products, resulting in a great user experience that users will love. Designers, remember this: always keep in mind the principle of usability, accessibility, consistency, visual hierarchy, responsiveness, and you'll be on your way to creating a great user experience. So bye. See you guys. Thank you for watching. See you on your next class.